It's very clear Donald Trump could not care less about Anthony Albanese and our ambassador to the United States, Kevin Rudd. And why would he? For almost 10 years, Labor has been attacking Donald Trump, his policies, his personality, using all sorts of language to describe him. And it was only after he was re-elected last year did the panic set in and Labor rushed to engage. Now, look, let's be clear. I don't agree with the US tariffs imposed on our steel and aluminium. They are punitive and could have serious consequences. But Trump is forging ahead with his America First agenda. It was his election mandate, make America great again. So we should not be at all surprised here. And I think Labor has been caught off guard by this new administration under a leader who is putting his country first, no matter the cost. The government has no idea what to do here. Former Labor leader Bill Shorten even suggested today we should go tit for tat.
At some point, we'll have to send a message to Mr Trump, this is what I'm hearing from people on the street, that if you do something to us, we'll do it back to you. We cannot be pushed around. At the end of the day, if they keep putting tariffs on all of our goods, then we've got to reciprocate dollar for dollar, tariff for tariff.
I mean, given this guy botched the National Disability Insurance Scheme, he is in hardly no position to be making such monumental calls. And considering our reliance on China, we don't make a lot here. So slapping tariffs on US-made goods would hurt us a lot more than it would the US. But the problem for us is Labor seems all over the shop and has no idea how to navigate this important transition under the Trump administration, let alone navigating and maintaining a key relationship between Australia and the United States. Now, last night, Kevin Rudd went on his preferred broadcaster, his old fave, the ABC, to explain the final stages of the failed negotiations with the Trump administration to try and secure a tariff exemption. Rudd confirmed Anthony Albanese had tried to call Trump on Tuesday, the day before the 25% tariffs came into effect, but could not get through.
I formed the judgment that it was then useful to make a further request for a further follow-up call by the Prime Minister with the President. And by the time the decision was taken, however, on Tuesday of this week, late Tuesday, we had not been able to secure that time.
Now, this is exactly the issue we're dealing with here. Not Albo nor Rudd can secure a call with our closest ally. Not even a phone call. And bear in mind, this bloke is supposed to be our ambassador, the key communicator between Australia and the Trump administration, the one to foster relations, the one to mend the bridges, and Trump is not picking up. But Kevin doesn't think it would have even made a difference.
I think it stands to reason we should question whether, in fact, even this request for a late telephone call would have necessarily made a material difference. We're up against a deep ideological strategic view of this Trump administration that they intend not to produce qualifications from the positions on tariffs that they undertook in the last administration because of their deep view of their relationship with the rest of the world and the global economy.
Now, maybe Trump did make up his mind weeks ago, but that's just the problem. How could any outcome be negotiated if the door is closed? And of course it's closed. The ambassador called him a village idiot, a danger to the West. It was never going to work out, and here we are. Rudd is a problem. But again, Labor is desperately playing catch-up with the new administration, even though it has had since November to try and foster these relations. Peter Dutton pointed that out today.
It's obvious that Ambassador Rudd, I'm sure, is well-intentioned, but just can't open any doors, has no respect and has no relationship with the current administration, and that is a real problem for Australia.
America is a manufacturing nation, something we used to be. Now, as we stare down the barrel of a possible second round of tariffs, the question is, can Labor get a move on and try and patch this up? But as I said, it's clear Donald Trump could not care less about Anthony Albanese and Kevin Rudd, and that is a problem.